Hi there YouTube, welcome back to my channel. This is Lisa the PFJ here. I hope you're having a lovely Monday morning, afternoon, evening, night, whatever time of day it is you are in. Thanks for coming back to watch my stuff. It's been a few days. I've still been recuperating from my little mischief that I suffered when I was on my travels. But it's coming along nicely. I'm just having to rest up and not get too carried away doing what I'm doing around the house and outside. So yes, it's not been fun, but it's getting better, so that's all you need to know. Less about me and more about what the video is going to be about today. And we're going back to, you might have guessed already, I don't know, but a subject that's been covered more than once on my channel already, and God, do I not want to have to keep going back to it, but the people in charge of marketing this thing, just at this point it just looks like they want to be trolled and memed into oblivion. So let's get right into my old friend Lord of the Rings, the Rings of Power. Oh goodness me. So since my last video on this, quite a bit has occurred. Quite a few things have come out into the open about this. It seems to be happening quite a bit with this this whole shebang. But since I last spoke about it, what have we had? Let's see. We've had the panel at Comic-Con in San Diego, which occurred a couple of weeks ago now, and a panel which was led by Stephen Colbert and Patton Oswalt. Less said about that the better. Very, very, I'd say odd choice, but at this point I wouldn't say odd, because I mean I think those two, for whatever reason, are quite popular. I don't even want to say popular is the choice of word I would go for, but they seem to be the people of the darlings of the nerd world, in someone's mind anyway, to who God knows. But yeah, those two were put forward for it, and I didn't see a great deal of it. I kind of avoided it because I kind of like myself a bit more than I would if I had to sit and watch something like that. I feel like I would want to commit myself some serious harm if I watched any of that. Not to belittle any sort of mental health things before anybody starts, but oh no, I like myself too much to put myself through that. So yeah. But what I want to focus on, rather than the panel itself, was the trailer that was released. And I believe I've spoken about the trailers already, but I want to focus less on this video, the content of the actual trailer, but more so the reaction to it, because it was glorious. And I think that's going to be the overarching theme of the video I'm making now, is not so much what's the things at hand that the makers and marketing people of the Rings of Power are putting out there, but more how absolutely wonderfully the fandom of Lord of the Rings has reacted to it, and showed these guys that this is a fandom of a franchise that is not to be fucked with in any way, because my God, are they absolutely destroying them at every opportunity, and it is wonderful to watch. I'm really just tempted to I've been sitting for the past week or so just catching up on everyone's coverage of this, between Erotic especially, because he's doing the Lord's work with this stuff, but other people as well, like versus Babyface, Disparu, and countless others have been trolling this into oblivion, and it's been absolutely wonderful. So yeah, so the Comic-Con trailer, what happened was it was put out there. It's got 11 million views at the moment. I don't have the extension that Google put out so that you can see the dislikes, because as you may or may not know, you're no longer able to see the dislike count on videos, because in an effort to help the little guys, the smaller content creators, you know, the ones like NBC and CNN and White House and BBC News and Sky News, you know, those guys who you know, their feelings might get hurt to see how many dislikes they have on their videos. Yeah, no, no one's buying that for a second. But yeah, at the moment, from what I been able to find just from not having the extension that shows you the dislike count. It's sitting at 79,000 likes, but I think at the moment it's sitting somewhere to the tune of about 200 odd thousand dislikes. Wow. Yeah, and from what I also understand, that is more of an algorithmic thing as well, is that it doesn't actually show the true number. So neither the like or the dislike. It just I think it estimates or averages based on whatever algorithm they use to count it, and so it could be even more likes, but it could be even more dislikes. So yeah, it is not good. But what's best, what I went back to is how wonderfully the fandom have reacted to it. Excuse me, but I'm just gonna. It's not what it won't do it enough justice if I just say that the comments have been amazing about how much people have been absolutely destroying it. But reading some of them would actually be even better. So there's one that says, when Samwise said one more step we'll be the farthest away from Tolkien we've ever been. I felt that. I can remember a guy called Edward Coons, which, well done. Says, can't forget the chills when Gandalf called Sauron and told him that was not any wolf, that was John Wick's wolf. And then took a sip of old moonshine, all when Frodo was playing rock, paper, scissors with Gollum on the other side of the table. Truly astonishing. That's from Albert Pond. This is just this is the tip of the iceberg, guys. If you really want some entertainment gold, just go into the comments on the Comic-Con trailer of Lord of the Rings, Rings of Power, and you will not be disappointed. It is glorious. There's only a handful of some of them. Get to the chopper, Tolkien. Nailed it, man. Timeless one-liner never gets old, from Murphy Ripley. Well, oh, good God. It's just, there are abs, and I've seen one saying, like, when the moment when Thanos gets the ring out and says, I'm inevitable, and things like that. It is just, it's been beautiful to watch. It's just chef's kiss. You guys are absolutely, you're legends. And I love you for what you're doing, so keep doing it. Don't let up for a second, because this is necessary for what's to come. The other two things, I won't go on too long, but as I try not to, but this might be a bit longer than my usual videos, because it's worth it to just show you how beautifully everyone is handling this. The next one is the Entertainment Weekly, the magazine. On their Twitter a few days back, they released a series of interactive animated covers featuring the individual characters from the Lord of the Rings, Rings of Power series, and it is every bit as cringy and just cheesy looking as you can imagine. Oh, so what it is they've got each of them, they're standing either with their back or to the side profile of the shot, and then they just gradually sort of spin around, and they'll do some sort of like weird thing. Like the one that got trolled the most was one of the new black dwarf character, Nisa, I believe her name is she's standing and she turns around, she's got this slit in her dress and she's got her thighs sticking out, and she does this thing where she's like, she looks like she's singing, she's going like that, and it's like, what the hell is this? I was like, everyone has absolutely memed it into oblivion, as you might well have expected at this point. I've seen so far, I can recommend 3 people who have taken these and compared them to real life things that exist and made them into memes with that in mind, and it is glorious to watch. So the one I've seen, the three I've seen that were best was Heel versus Babyface. Did one. These are all on YouTube, by the way, if you want to go check them out. So please do. There's and I might put the links in the description so you can have a look for yourself. There's Heel versus Babyface, who compares it to an ad for an old beauty brand from the 80s called Salon Selective, which is just absolutely spot on. The second is Quarter Black Garrett found a video of a daytime soap opera from the US, which you may have heard of, called The Young and the Restless. And it is identical the way it is done. It's the same thing where it's like each character comes into view one after the other, and they're turned to look at this camera with the cheesy theme music playing in the background, and it is amazing how spot on it is. But it isn't even. I don't want to sound like these guys didn't put effort into it, but it isn't even high effort. You know, it didn't take a lot of work for these guys to look into this and go, "This is the most ridiculous thing I've seen," and it looks like something out of an '80s daytime soap opera. That's all it took, was a little bit of googling for him to find the, you know, the opening credits for this soap opera and meme it with that. It was so easy. It's like shooting fish in a barrel at this point. And oh wait, no, there's another one. There's two. Sorry, I thought there was three. There's two. The third one was from a YouTuber a chap called George Molo, his YouTube channel is called George the Giant Slayer, and he compared it to an ad campaign for Vagisil, which I'm sure you know what that's for. I'm not going to go into too many details of what that does, but it's again perfect. It's just the way it's set up is wonderful. But the fourth and final one I'm going to bring up, which was the absolute best, chef's kiss, most perfect one, is from another YouTuber called Jay Longbone, and she's just doing the Lord's work with this stuff. She compared it to a promo for Twilight, and came up with a thing with each of the names of the different actors playing the different parts and giving them like names that aren't the actual names of the characters, shall we say, but they're just I'm not even going to go and even say any of them because you need to watch it for yourself. It is gold. So high and low of it is, it's been memed into oblivion. The internet has responded as only the internet can, and has shown these guys that you've messed with the wrong fandom. Sorry guys. But the final one I wanted to round off on is Peter Jackson gave an interview recently. He's the final nail, not the final nail in the coffin, I would say, because this thing's still going to come out. It's still going to be released. It's still going to be out there. But he put any sort of, he would have made the doubts in people's minds all the higher, just from the fact that he is who he is and what his role has been in the Lord of the Rings franchise to this point. Obviously being the legendary director of the trilogy of Lord of the Rings from the early 2000s. He also made the less successful and less well received Hobbit trilogy. But the summary of what he said in this interview was that the makers of the Rings of Power series approached him near the beginning of the process of making it and asked him if he would want some input in the series, to which he replied, "I would love to, but I would really need to see a script first." This is me paraphrasing. I don't know if this is exactly what he said, but they said, "Okay, great, we'll get that to you as soon as we can." And I wonder if you can guess what happened next. I wish I had a sound effect thing with a thing of crickets, because that's exactly what happened. He didn't hear anything back from anyone. So he basically just said, I need to see some stuff first before I can have any input on it, which is a reasonable enough request, right? It doesn't seem like the makers of this show thought it was. They didn't send him a thing. Now, a lot of people might say that this might sound like he's maybe bitter because he didn't get asked at all. Maybe he was making up the fact that he was approached. But I mean, why would you make something like that up? It would stand to reason that someone who wants to make something Lord of the Rings related would want to speak to someone with a bit of expertise, someone who has experience of working in that sphere, and has had great success with it. So why would he make that up? And also, the idea that in current day, because I don't know if this was when they were first conceiving the idea of making the TV series, then this must have been a few years back. But given what we know now, we can see why they wouldn't want him involved, because for all intents and purposes, the guys making this stuff are not making a Tolkien-related series at all. Everything that they're making is being based in complete and utter fabrications of something that they say Tolkien would have given a thumbs up to. But given everything we know about what Tolkien said about his work, it's completely contradictory. He didn't want his works being toyed with. And nothing in this series is really other than a couple of characters. I mean, there's Gil-galad, there's Celeborn, there's Elrond, Galadriel. The rest of them are all original characters who've been completely made up by the creators of the show. So they're not doing this from a place of and from what we know as well from all the input from these so-called Tolkien scholars and everything, they're not wanting to make a faithful adaptation of Tolkien work. They want to bring Tolkien into the modern world. They don't think Tolkien is reflective of the fact they've done everything, said everything they can short of saying that he was racist and sexist and homophobic, if you want to say that. But they've done everything they can to stop themselves from saying that. But instead of saying that outright, they're making this as in my opinion, and in the opinion of a lot of people, they're doing it as a way of saying fuck you to Tolkien and his work and saying that this is what it should look like. We're improving it, we're updating it, and it's all stemmed from the hubris of a man who owns a company, Amazon, on a whim, maybe with a billionaire boredom, saying that he wants his own Game of Thrones for his streaming platform. So it's the perfect combination of hubris and ideology, and people are sick of it. They don't want to hear it anymore. But what I want to round off on, and this is just coming from me personally, is that I've gone through it's a bit like a sort of stages of grief sort of thing, but I wouldn't say grief. It's more just like, just utter frustration or anything. I would say it's more accurate. But it's a bit like the grief process. There's like the stages where there's denial and it finalises into acceptance. I'm not saying that I'm accepting this in any way, shape or form, by the way. This is not Tolkien. This is not anything that I associate with Lord of the Rings whatsoever. But what I've gone through is from seeing the initial stuff of it and hearing some of the things that have been said by these people who are making this, I've gone from a stage of just rage and frustration, like how the fuck can these people take the works of this absolute genius of a man and a master of the English language and completely desecrate his work. And then I've gone from that to a stage of a bit of indifference, going, God, I just, everything I'm hearing, I'm just, it's getting worse and worse. I really just don't want to think about this anymore. I'm kind of just inclined to forget it exists and just tune out and go back to read the books and original books and watch the original movies. To now seeing where everyone has come together and done such a great thing in like memeing and trolling this thing to absolute shit, that I'm actually getting a bit of enjoyment out of it. I'm getting more enjoyment out of that than I probably will out of anything that I've seen in this series. So I'm actually at a point where I'm kind of looking forward to seeing what absolute bloody dumpster fire comes out of this, so that me and the collective YouTube community, or fellowship's probably a better word, to completely tear this thing apart, as it so bloody well deserves at this point, because just nothing out of it is inspiring, not any kind of good feeling. Nothing about it is making me think that this is going to be good. Nothing. I don't think it's making anyone think it's going to be good, apart from maybe a handful of people who are just desperately clinging on to the idea that it might still have a chance. But I mean, God bless you if that's how you feel, but I'm nowhere near that. But inspiration has struck, shall we say, and I'm looking forward to coming together with the rest of you good people and giving this thing what for, shall we say. So let's fucking do it. I'll leave it there, shall we, on that quite somewhat positive note. Thanks very much for tuning in, everyone. If you've made it this far, I appreciate it, and I would also appreciate if you liked the video, shared it with your friends, shared it with your Lord of the Rings fan friends if you have any, if you think they might enjoy this. If you disagree, if you've seen anything else that is memeable, or if you've even seen anyone who might think positively about this, or might be able to shine some kind of positive light on it, I would very much like to see it and see where they're coming from. Please do let me know, and also think about subscribing to the channel if you wouldn't mind, because I'm going to be doing more stuff just like this in the coming weeks and months, because as we know, this thing is just right around the corner. It's debuting on the 2nd of September, the anniversary of Tolkien's death, by the way. Don't tell me that's not deliberate or some kind of, little subliminal messaging behind that. To say that this is our, so it'll be what last we've seen you to this absolute genius's work. So yeah, that's also an opinion I feel very strongly about. But we'll leave it there, shall we? Look forward to seeing some more stuff coming your way just like this, and other subjects as well, which may be interest to you guys too. But anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Like, share, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care, everyone. Bye.